Today, in recognition of Black History Month, we are highlighting some of the great accomplishments of the great people. And today, we are highlighting some of our wonderful African American owner operators of McDonald's. And today's guest is an awesome friend of mine. I've known her for years. And it's such a privilege for me to be able to highlight you and your family as owner operators of McDonald's. Deborah Holder, how are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks. How are you?
Absolutely wonderful. And for
Great.
Black History Month, I mean, when they said the holders are going to come in, I was like,
Mhm.
yes, they are truly examples of what Black history is about. I'm pretty sure you guys said, hey, look, we're going to own some McDonald's. You didn't mean to make history, but because
Mm.
of what you have done, and, we all grew up with McDonald's. I mean, McDonald's has been in every last one of our communities. I remember, riding in the car with my family, my mom and my dad. Going to McDonald's was a treat. I would
Oh,
sit there, they
yes.
wouldn't stop, and I'd just sing McDonald's, McDonald's,
You
McDonald's.
let them know.
And so to have you all own one, the
Yeah.
first time I met you, it was like you were celebrities. I was like, they actually own a McDonald's.
Oh, thank you.
And, that's what it's all about, being entrepreneurs, going for what we say we're going to do, and bringing the greatness, not just to ourselves, but to others that see the greatness and to our community. So thank you all, first of all, for being great examples and representing today here for Black History Month.
Well, you are more than welcome, and it's such a great opportunity to have a chance to be a part of something like this, something so much bigger than ourselves. And then the idea that we've been able to set it up so that we have the generational wealth that we're able to pass down to our kids. That's the part that warms my heart. That's the part that I guess when I even went in, that was the thought in the back of my head. I want a next generation to be a
Yeah,
part of this. And we worked
absolutely.
so hard with our daughters, and my daughter Amanda has come into the business, and my daughter Ashley also works in the back office. She
Wow.
helps us out, and she does her part to make it a true family business.
And that's right. You're absolutely. I know you and your husband, Mr. Holder, as being just, Christian, wonderful people that step out on faith. And like I said, you're great examples of not just being successful in the business world, but in the faith world as well. Saying, hey, look, watch, give it to God, let God lead you, step out on faith, and this is what happens. And like you said, the generational wealth is just going on and on and on. And I looked at Amanda and I said, you have no other choice but to be able to fall into this because your parents have blessed you with such great wealth, knowledge, and faith.
Well, we certainly had ketchup in our veins, and we just passed that
I like
ketchup
that.
right on to them. That's what we say in McDonald's when you have the ketchup in your veins, where you eat, sleep, and just believe in McDonald's and try to carry on that whole. McDonald's is an institution. It's been around, like you
Mm-hmm.
said, for a long time. A lot of us grew up with it, and it's such an honor to be a part of a system like that because it teaches you so much about things to do, just lifestyle, just a way to conduct yourself in life because it teaches you to save, it teaches you to think ahead, it teaches you to plan, it just being a part of that system. And then my daughters, as they were coming up, they saw us doing it. They saw us going out and
Yeah.
working. They saw us answering the phone all day of the and times of the night because they knew that it was the business and we had to take that time to spend with it so that it
Mm-hmm.
could be successful, and then we would carve out some time for them too. And most of the time when we carved out that time, we were taking them to McDonald's.
And they could see the behind the scenes and
They could
saw
see,
every
yes.
bit of it. And I know, we stand back and we look at you and Mr. Holder and even Amanda, and we're like, wow, they did it. But I know it was not an easy journey. So can you share with us your journey, your experience of becoming a McDonald owner operator, and what motivated you, and how did you and Mr. Holder come together to decide, hey, look, hon, this is what we're going to do?
Well, that's a story. I was up late one night and I was watching. At the time, it was the McCreary Report,
Mm-hmm.
and on the show was McDonald's owner operator, and he was talking about his experience in being an owner operator. At that time, we were living in New York, and this gentleman, Lee Dunham, he had stores in Harlem. And he talked about having 8 McDonald's restaurants and being an owner operator. And I said to myself and to my God, I want to do that. I think we can do that. And if, I just let him into my life at that time to give me the strength and the tenacity
Mm-hmm.
to try to get into the business and to be a part of McDonald's. So at that time, I wrote a letter to Mr. Dunham. I was able to get his phone number. I called him every day for a
Wow.
week. I got an application for McDonald's and sent that into McDonald's. And finally, Mr. Dunham called back. And I said, I hate to bother you. I know you're a very busy person, but if my husband and I could just meet with you and talk about getting into McDonald's and what it involves, what we have to do to make ourselves attractive candidates. And he actually took the time from his busy schedule to meet with us. And he was so warm and welcoming. And he found out that we sent our application in, he tracked it down, and he got it into the right hands, and we got an interview. And the rest is, I have to give God his glory
Amen.
because we were able to sit through that interview and be what they were looking for. I look back on it and I still can't believe that it happened because we weren't business people.
Mm-hmm.
At the time I was a flight attendant and my husband was working for the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, which is as a police officer.
Okay.
So we didn't have that background, that business background,
Right.
but they saw something in us, and I'm sure they saw the light come through with us, that we were willing to come in and work hard and do what it takes. And for 2.5 years, we worked after our other jobs for free in local
Mm.
McDonald's in order to learn everything, in order to go through, to get to the point where we could actually go to Hamburger University, which is accredited.
Oh, wow. Hamburger University.
Exactly.
I'm smiling because a lot of what you're talking about, the characteristic of you stepping out on faith and actually making that call, not knowing that he would answer or even give you the time, those are certain characteristics of people that actually are successful. I like to call it successful characteristic of, what do I have to lose? I'm just going to go for it. And you did. And the favor of God showed up.
It
And
certainly did.
look where you are now.
Yep.
Amen.
Yes. Yeah.
So, as you mentioned, McDonald's, like you said, has been in our community, a lot of us, all of our lives. So, as a local owner operator, how do you see your role as, contributing to the community? And are there specific initiatives or maybe even projects that you all are involved in to kind of positively impact the community in your area?
Well, we definitely have the scholarships through the Archways to Opportunities that McDonald's offers, and those scholarships go to our crew people.
Mm-hmm.
So we bring in young people and we try to teach them, the rights and wrongs of the workplace. I think it's a good proving ground for young people. It's a chance for them to make mistakes and get those second and third chances that sometimes they need. I think as owner operators, giving them that opportunity, they come in, they see how hard everyone is working. They see that there is actually a clear career path because
Mm-hmm.
you can come into McDonald's as a crew person and work your way up to management quite it's not hard. It's just
Okay.
coming in, working hard, doing, trying to keep up with all of the different things that they give us, new procedures and
Right. The
and new
changes.
products and
Right.
limited time offers and that type of thing. But more importantly, it's a way they learn how to interact with customers, interact with their fellow workers, and it's a good beginning for young people. And also, we try to get involved with the schools. We have McTeachers Nights. We were talking
Right.
about that a little earlier, how some of the McTeachers Nights that we have can be more successful than
Mm-hmm.
others because the school really gets in and hunkers down and gets everyone out for that 3 hour window where we share with our profits for that time frame. So if they get the school to talk to the teachers to come out, talk to the parents and the students and everybody and their friends and neighbors, we can make and during that time frame they can make a nice amount of money to use towards some of their sports activities and
Right.
things like that. So that's one of the things that's really easy to get out into the community with that. We also try to sponsor things. We donate. We get involved with, like, during the Christmas holiday, we were involved with the angel tree and that
Mm-hmm.
type of thing, and that was the entire we call it the Bethesda Field Office, and that's what we're a part of. And that runs from here down in North Carolina all the way up to Washington, some parts of Philadelphia. So it's a wide range of African American owner operators and corporate individuals who got involved with Angel Tree for the year. And then there's other things like backpacks and back to school opportunities and things like that. There's a wide range of things that we do. So the community, that's the heartbeat of our business. So we definitely have to get involved, and McDonald's encourages us to get involved, even in the political side of the community. We want to, to help with voting and getting people out. Of course, you can't tell people who to vote for,
Right.
but at least you can let them know that it is something that's so important. And that's the way that we strengthen our community, to get people out to vote. And it's going to be so important in this new election coming
Yes.
up. Very,
Yes,
very
it
important.
is. Amen. Yes, ma'am, to that. So does each specific or individual McDonald's, as far as the owner operators, get to choose whichever community event or whatever you want to back, or is it something that's nationally initiated to
Well, no,
each
they
one?
leave it up to us. They
Okay.
pretty much leave it up to us. There are some national initiatives, and there are also local ones that, they encourage us to be a part of. But for the most part, there's something that they do leave up to us. And we have a budget. We start out at the beginning of the year and we say, okay, we have this amount to contribute toward activities and contributions, donations, and whatever. So it's very important for, if you do have something or you're part of an organization or a group, to reach out to us early enough, give us enough time so that we can fit it into our budget. And we do things like we do donations. We give discounts on breakfast meals sometimes for different organizations. They have meetings, and we have we used to have the juice bowl. That's something that we don't really have anymore, but there's all sorts of things that we can work out with the different groups that would be helpful for them.
Oh, that's good. Because, every once in a while you'll go to, an event and you see they pass it out, like you said,
Yes.
cards or, free breakfast or McDonald's. So I was wondering, how do these organizations go by? And you just say, kind of send a letter of request, and you guys get to kind of choose
Yes.
depending on which ones. So that's good. Good
Yes.
information. Thank
Okay.
you for sharing that.
Mhm.
You mentioned employment, having, those who work up under you and them being able to, climb the ladder, with good hard work and understanding, what they need to do in order to make it. How often are those opportunities, those employment opportunities available, and how do you guys kind of approach the hiring process to make sure that it's diverse and inclusive of, who reflects your community?
I think that the best way to get new employees is through referrals from people that are already working for us. We also try to be welcoming. We want people to come in and see that diversity and inclusion is very important to us, and they will see that reflected in our management team and the crew and the shift running managers that work for us. They see that that we're like a big family.
Right.
And almost like a melting pot, because there are just a myriad of different folks that work in the stores, and we reflect the community. Most of our employees are from nearby our stores because it's easy for transportation and things like that. So whatever the community is made up of, that's what you're going to see in our organization.
Sounds good.
And we're a big family.
Absolutely. And that's what you pretty much see when you go to McDonald's. We have one that's right down the street, and every morning I have the same guy who's there every morning, and I say, "Hey, friend," and he says, "Hey." If he misses me for a few days, he says, "I haven't seen you get breakfast." He can hear my voice and know it's me. And so
Yes.
you guys really make us feel like family as well, in the community. And like I said, there's always a McDonald's down the street somewhere.
Exactly.
So you
Yes.
guys, putting that and making it important that you are part of the community means a lot
Yeah,
to
yes.
us. So in celebration of Black History Month, can you think about or maybe even highlight some influential figures or mentors that have inspired you in your career with
Well,
McDonald's?
I think the first real one was Lee Dunham, the gentleman that
Right.
was on the show that night. Lee was he was a pioneer. He started back in McDonald's. He was probably, I believe, he was the first McDonald's African American McDonald's operator in Manhattan.
Wow.
His stores were in Harlem. He got involved in the community. He was a very welcoming kind of person, and he was the type of person who intentionally went out and looked for other African Americans to bring into the McDonald's fold. He was he was just a very courageous person. He stood up for the rights of the black McDonald's operators in McDonald's. He was one of the founders, at least one of the first members of the Black McDonald's Operators Association. And he was very instrumental in that organization, bringing in African Americans, not only just owner operators, but also corporate people. And like I said, he stood up for us, and he fought the fight. Lee was in New York, and we were up in New York at the time. Now we're down in North Carolina. Unfortunately, he passed away a number of years ago, but we still lift up Lee in our meetings, and his wife and his son are still involved in McDonald's, and we get to see them a lot. Wonderful family, great group of people. He's one of the biggest mentors that I've had. But there's so many African Americans that I look up to, and I have to mention my brother-in-law as one. He was the first black attorney general of
Yes.
the United States, and we're just so proud of him and what he did and what he stood for. And he continues to fight the fight.
Absolutely. And it's ironic and kind of funny to me because I used to see your brother in law on television all the time and say, wow, he looks like Mr. Holder. Well, there was a good reason that he looked like Mr. Holder because it was his brother. But yes.
Yes,
And
yes.
I would like to say, you say that who your influential figure and mentors are. I would say you are to us that way too.
Oh,
The
thank
family
you.
that raised you or that you were able to see, you've made such a family for yourself. You and your husband and your daughters are very influential in the African American community for us. And so, what kind of legacy would you say you would like to leave for others to know about you as you make your way up and through the ladder of the McDonald's company?
Wow, wow. I hope that people can look at us and see that what we do in the community, what we do with McDonald's, that it's intentional. That it's not just by chance. We think about what we're trying to do in the community. We want to be able to bring in young people and show them that McDonald's is not a dead end type of job. There's so many things that you can learn while you're there, and it's something that can stick with you. We've actually had individuals reach out to us that worked for us 30 years ago when we were in New York, and they say, there was one young man that said that Mr. Holder was such a great influence for him that he actually went into law enforcement, and he is
Wow.
now since retired, and it's just really heartwarming to think that we can be a model to someone else, that they could look up to us and say, you know what, it hard work can get you so much further than just sitting back and waiting for things to drop into your lap.
Yeah.
And I hope that they can see us as individuals that can that they can come to and they can talk to and they can get advice from. I hope that we've given everyone that we've met and that have worked for us the impression that we are open door. Come talk to us. If I can share what my life has been like, and if it can help you somehow in your life, I feel like it hasn't been in vain at all. And we have to give honor to God, that the glory is all His, because we would not be where we are today without that. It's just been a miracle,
And
and I'm so thankful.
we can tell you all have supported us, the light, in every endeavor that we've had, and we truly appreciate it. You're like, hey, if it's gonna further the kingdom, you and Mr. Holder have always been there. Hey, we're behind it. What do you need us to do? So
Thank
we
you,
thank
thank
you.
you.
And with that, you were talking about the young people, and we were talking about employment opportunities, but there's also highlighting the education part of
Hmm.
McDonald's, being committed to helping to educate those employees and helping them develop even more. How have you supported the professional growth and advancement in your crew members and the younger crew members that are there in McDonald's as
Well,
well?
as I said, we have archways to opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
which means that if you work for McDonald's for at least 90 days, you can apply for scholarship money
Great.
each year, and it can be as much as 3,000 a year. We have a young man who actually right now is going to college and he's expecting to get his bachelor's degree online, and it's not going to cost him a
A
dime. And
dime.
we're so
Wow.
proud of him. It's been almost a year now, and he's doing his classes and making it through these semesters, and it's very rewarding to see how hard he's working, because he's working during the day and then he's getting on online and trying to get that matriculated. And it's really a great thing to see some of the young people that have come in and worked with us and gone on to other opportunities,
Mm-hmm.
maybe inside or outside McDonald's. But there, if you don't want to stay at the store level, there are corporate jobs that they can go on to, and that runs a gamut of different type of career opportunities. It could be in HR, it could be in communications, it could be in management. It could, I mean, it's just so many things that they can do inside of McDonald's, and we want to be there as that premier operator that's available and can guide some of these young people into those type of programs.
That's great. Now, we talked about each individual McDonald's. You specifically own certain ones. What would you say are maybe some of the things that uniquely, I guess, qualify your McDonald's as opposed to others in your community? Are there specific things or certain things that you do, have done, or are planning to do to kind of highlight your community and where you guys are? And where are your stores located?
Well, we're in Nightdale. We're in Wendell.
Mm-hmm.
We just opened up a store in Wendell Falls, and that is Amanda's store. We're in Zebulon, and we have Pool Road in Raleigh and
Right.
Trawick Road in
Yes.
Raleigh. So that's the kind of geographic area that we're in, pretty much Raleigh, and then you branch out to some of the smaller places.
Mm-hmm.
I think what uniquely qualifies us in the area to be of help to the community and to young people is that you can come in, and we are being, as by being a family business. I think we're probably a little more understanding than most businesses can be. I
Right.
think in most places you go in and it's cut and dry. You make a mistake and you're gone. That's not the way we do things, because we can all learn from our mistakes, and they can be opportunities to become a better person. And I think that the fact that we do have, as I said, an open door policy, they can come in, they can help us. I mean, they can ask us for guidance, and we want to be there for them. And I think it's good that we now have, as I said, my daughters in, and then we have William and myself. So we've got that old school, older generation wisdom that we can
Absolutely.
impart on young people.
Yeah.
And then I think with Ashley and Amanda, they have a younger, more, I guess, just a younger perspective on
Mm-hmm.
things, a younger way of looking at things. So the between the two of us, the two different generations, it kind of helps out. And hopefully one of these days there'll be a grandchild
Amen to that. I hear you,
to
Amanda.
help
If
with
you're
that.
listening, I didn't tell her to say that, but that's.
She knows she's going to hear that.
I love it. I love it. You have truly made a very strong tribe for just younger people to look on and see your family and see your girls, growing up in you, in your image that God has made of excellence. And that's how I see your family, the Holder family, is, Black History Month excellence in business and in community and in your faith. And I thank God for you each and every day. So, for those who are looking right now, I know they're saying, wow, she has inspired me. I want to become a McDonald owner operator. Is there any advice that you could give for anybody who says, hey, I want to try and do something as she did herself?
I think that you've got to have dreams, and you've got to look for something that's going to give you reward, that's going to help you in your life going forward, and something that you can be inspired to be a part of. I think it's very important to latch on to something that gives you joy and to stick with it. I can't really, tell you what to do. McDonald's, getting into McDonald's now is a lot harder than it was when I started. There's still always opportunities, but there are so many other things out there, and all you have to do is look for them. Sometimes it's something that you invent on your own. Sometimes you're blessed to have that type of innovative spirit that you come up with something on your own. But always just understand that if he's in your corner, it's going to work out. And if you do the right thing will come from it.
I love it. Great, great advice. Final advice. Make your own Black history. Make it your own. Make it unique. Make it you. And God will bless it and make it and see you through. Amen.
Thank you.
Well, Miss Holder, Miss Deborah Holder, my sister, my friend, thank you so very much for joining us and being a part of Black History Month here on the Light 103.9.
You're more than welcome. God bless.